All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So, how did Van Morrison become the most rebellious rocker in the world? Seriously. See, Eric Clapton, he's kind of the reluctant warrior. He didn't want to get involved with this, but he just felt as though he had to. Whereas Van Morrison, both barrels, doesn't care, is willing to deal with the consequences. And by the way, I'm not impugning Clapton at all. I'm saying that I didn't like being the focus of attention for a few days when, Eric came on and told the truth and people freaked out. And then, all of the stuff started to be said and clips of the video being used. And, we find out that Eric Clapton is one of those people. And we found out early on that Van Morrison was leading the charge. And we can't forget about Van because he was the most courageous out of the box. And he was the one that allowed other people to crawl out and say, look, me too. I don't like this either. Well, why don't you want to go along with this? Because I think people have bodily autonomy. I think they have freedom. I would put Van Morrison ahead of any hard rock or heavy metal hero who thinks, they're loaded up with testosterone and they're going to be the tough guy and they're going to get out there and be the real rebel. No, it takes guts. It takes courage to go up against the state. And a lot of this has to do with money. You hear, from certain publications that, hey, these guys are bankrolling all the people that don't want to do the thing. They're bankrolling them. Isn't there a lot more money to be had when you have everybody attending concerts and not just the people who are afraid to say anything because their friends and the media and everybody else are going to jump on them? Isn't it a lot easier just to go along to get along, right? And that's what this is all about. I mean, if there is an injustice, somebody should stand up to it. And what most people do is say, I don't like that. I hope somebody deals with that. Well, Van Morrison wrote a song called Where Have All the Rebels Gone? And that was the number one question to ask. My second question would be after that, what happened to intellectual curiosity? What happened to truly getting the other side of the story rather than saying baseless, baseless, baseless accusations, baseless this and what? Baseless based on what? Did you do any investigative reporting? No. So how do you know it's baseless? Where is your conclusive evidence that all of this is baseless? Because somebody says it over and over again, that makes it baseless. What's baseless is the news coverage. It's completely baseless. Come to your senses, right? And understand that this isn't just about your paycheck. This isn't about your, vacation home on some Caribbean island that you have to keep financing, right? It isn't about that. It's actually about humanity and moving forward. Van Morrison, in another song, asked a really important question. Why are you on Facebook? Now, I will answer that question. I'm only on Facebook because I have connections over there. And they designed that platform specifically so people would get hooked to it. And there's even a documentary about that, which I think was on Hulu or HBO Max or something. And I can't remember the name of it. Somebody told me to watch it. I watched it. And it's like there are guys on the other end basically trying to reel you in. As soon as you log on, they're trying to put stories out there or they're trying to just hook you in. So there's no such thing, right? There's no such thing as psychological manipulation, right? Rolling Stone, right? Certain publications who put this out there as a theory that us folks that don't want to be part of the collateral damage that's currently occurring in our culture, and it starts at a very young age with these kids who are probably going to be damaged their entire life from this stuff. Let's just put it all out there. So you had a little crack in your rock and roll dam when Van Morrison was the first one who went out there. I know Eric Clapton doesn't like this stuff. I've actually spoken to Eric Clapton. I'm just throwing that out there. He doesn't like this stuff. He's the reluctant one. He doesn't want to do this. He does want to enjoy his life and live his life and have a dignified retirement at some point. But he's more inspired than ever, probably because of what you guys are doing. You know, if this weren't the case, then he would probably say, you know what? I've achieved everything I need to achieve. Van Morrison, who is a songwriting machine, according to Clapton, writes 2 songs a day. Writes 2 songs a day. I think it's probably a bad day when Van doesn't write a song, right? That's why I think his last project had 28 songs on it, and the critics were mortified. They're like, oh no, not only is he crazy, but he's writing lots of songs. Wilbur. Sorry. So it's just really a bizarre world we're living in, where Van Morrison becomes James Dean. And he's mild-mannered. He's put out so much music over the years, and a lot of it really super high quality. Here in the United States, of course, we've focus tested Van down to 1 song. That's Brown Eyed Girl, which is ridiculous. By the way, Van was in a band before he was a solo artist. That band is called Them, and the song Gloria was kind of famous here and over in the UK and probably all over the world. And I think was even covered by The Doors, and the Doors version got a lot of airplay, and they weirded it out and made it kind of have a bit of a different feel to it. We'll say that, but the Them version of it is really cool. And then you got a huge catalog of great music. I mean, if Van Morrison ever decided to sell his catalog, he should probably get a couple of $1 billion for that catalog, because there's so much great music there. And now you've got the Rebel songs, in addition to all the other great music. You know, whatever happened to like Wavelength and Moondance and Domino, and it's just gone. No place on American radio for any of that stuff. And it's fantastic. Those 70s albums, absolutely groundbreaking stuff. And then the material he did in the 80s, which was kind of ignored. And then the album with the Chieftains, which was amazing. And I can go on and on. He even worked, I believe, with Cliff Richard on one album, Mr. Devil Woman. Just good stuff. But, you know, we don't really need that much music. We can just keep bringing that playlist down, slicing it down. We've got Spotify, right? Until they start pulling everything off of there. Maybe they'll just close Spotify down because it's just so corrupt. They'll say, you know what? Until you pull all of this music off of here, and then get rid of Joe Rogan, and then get rid of other people who are on there, because it's not going to stop at Rogan, right? We're just going to ask you guys to shut the whole thing down. Isn't that a great solution? This is where we're headed. So anyway, kudos to Van Morrison. I haven't talked about Van in a while, and he was the first rebel, and he might have single-handedly started a revolution, the mild-mannered revolution, started by somebody who just wanted to play gigs. That's what this was all about. I just want to play a gig, and they keep shutting them down. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget about Patreon for $1 a month. Yes, I've got more shiny new theories coming your way every day, and I'm not afraid to whip out some psychology on you. I know it doesn't work, but you know, we're going to persevere.